The fucking gunner jam! Fucking hell, not now! Hello and welcome to another video from me, Box of Demons, and welcome to Boots on the Ground here in Lavinia. I was at one of the traders, sniffing around, trying to find the odd bit of gear that more experienced players sometimes leave behind. And while I was there, I bumped into a ghillie sniper. And as we spoke over a fine pint of Yorkshire ale, we discussed the opportunity to go out and hunt a bear. The following video is our adventure out in the woods with boots on the ground. Can we stick together? Can we find a bear out there in the wilderness? And will we both survive to tell the tale? Are we going to do a tactical manoeuvre, a pincer manoeuvement? I'm thinking, use me as bait. As we pushed out of the safe zone, I took along my SOCOM. I wanted a weapon that would put this bear down fairly quickly, or so I hoped. I've never actually engaged with a brown bear out in the wilderness before, and I was hoping it was definitely a place where we could find somewhere to lock ourselves in or find protection or shelter. I certainly didn't want to be out in the woods, pulling the trigger, and nothing to hide behind but a tree. I was also slightly hesitant on whether I could trust a ghillie sniper. As we pushed further through the woods and down through the valleys to the main road, we knew that the bears would be out in the middle of the wilderness. That was the only place we thought the wildlife would be of any danger. As we pushed further west into the woods, we found an old derelict shack. We could hear zombies on the perimeter. This was time to bring the machetes out. We didn't want to make too much noise and scare any wildlife off, or even the bear should it be in the region. And we also did want to attract more zombies that hadn't been seen on the perimeter. And this was also an opportunity for me to see whether this ghillie sniper could handle himself in close quarters combat. I'd done my tour and my training, so I decided to sit back and watch the show. I didn't want our friend to get bitten or injured at this stage, as I would be on my own, so with machete in hand, I decided to help. Come on, you fuck! Fucking zombies. Come on, you old bitch! Come on! Fucking bring it, bitch! I had to not let my temper get the best of me. That's how you make mistakes.
Always a good idea to box.
Time passed, and it felt like we'd been running for hours. When in truth, we'd been running for around 10 minutes. Through the pine trees, through the forests, through small outback villages. Always waiting for the bear to jump out and scare us. We slightly became a little bit complacent, not expecting anything to happen. So we kept on pushing. We rested, we ate, we drank. We reminisced. And we carried on pushing, looking for that elusive sound of a brown bear. We heard a military helicopter fly overhead while in the woods, and what caught our eye in the distance was a downed C-130. Was the helicopter dropping troops off in order to get supplies or rescue survivors? Or was it on another mission? The fact we'd found an aircraft meant the possibility for weapons, gear, clothing and food. This was something we couldn't let go. I would provide overwatch, and we agreed we would split any supplies or resources that were found on the downed plane. Was there anything? Was this just a wild goose chase? When really our main objective to find a bear was quickly becoming a second objective. Anything of interest?
Yeah, got a safe hacker as well.
There was very little supplies of food or medical on the plane, but we had found a safe cracker and a golden sledgehammer. Why? Why was the question? But this thing was literally worth its weight in gold. If we could find the right trader here in Lavinia, we would both be rolling in money by the end of the day. We found an old, disused Russian military tower. This place had obviously been left in a hurry. There were still supplies such as smokes, ammo, and even a PSO scope left here. Where the troops were was unknown. There was zombies out in the perimeter, with some of them with military gear on. Maybe this was the Russians' last stand. We decided to have a quick look at the tower and then concentrate on the main objective, which was to find that bear. Maybe, just maybe, from the top of the tower, we'd be able to get eyes on over the valley and find our target. As we pushed on into the storm, what became clear was that our ghillie sniper was extremely ill. He'd lost his meds in the engagement back at the village. He wasn't looking too bright, and as we pushed on into the rain, his ghillie suit started to bring on pneumonia. He complained of chest pains and cold sweats, and said that if he couldn't find food or water out here very quickly, then he would succumb to his injuries. I turned my back for 2 seconds and he was gone. He'd rushed off into the compound below me. I wasn't even sure whether this was a zombie infested, whether there was wild animals or even enemy combatants. This was a foolish move. I tried to give a little bit of overwatch and just listen for the enemy or any movement at all. And it wasn't until I moved down further into the compound that I saw his body laying wet on the floor, with a bite mark through his neck and through his left wrist. Whether he had already taken his own life before he had turned was unknown. I decided to pay respects, take his dog tags, and take his ghillie suit and armour and weapons and every piece of item that I could use for myself to survive. I needed to get back to the safe zone and forget the bear. As I climbed the tower to try and use the transceiver to get in evac for the body, the worst case scenario happened. This wasn't the time to go hunting for brown bears, but it seemed that the brown bear was hunting me. I wasn't sure if that was a cow or a deer. Maybe the bear had come out of hibernation and was hunting. I needed to get better eyes on and get closer, but then Was I doing the right thing? Was this really the time to hunt a bear? I decided to close the gate and give myself a little bit of cover. And there it was. It had just killed one of the cattle in the area. And by the looks of it, he was heading in my direction. Could I make it to the tower, or even yet, could I make it to the warehouse and close the doors? This was risky, but I had to make it. I didn't want to be stuck up there and the bear eventually climb its way up. The bear clawed my right thigh. I was bleeding badly. If I couldn't get anybody on the comms, I had to get in the warehouse and try and patch up. This was no place to be staying out in the open. Any gunfire now would draw zombies in and further survivors. The plan was to heal, then I would drop a smoke grenade at the front door, open the door, run upstairs onto the gantry and let loose with every round I had into the bear. As with everything on the field, nothing ever goes to plan. The fucking gunner jam! Fucking hell, not now! There's a shotgun on the floor. I had to get it quick. Had I just done that? Had I just put the bear down? I could hear those zombies coming. I wasn't out of the thick of it yet and I was bleeding badly. Run out of ammo. I had to put the rest of these zombies down before I bled out with every single item I had. I had to improvise and do it quickly. Wasn't there 2 shells still left in the shotgun? I was injured badly. I was extremely weak. The blood loss I could feel pouring down my leg under the ghillie suit. I stood there contemplating my